In the prison cell, the guard was searching for the whereabouts of the prisoner, unaware that Jamie was hiding right behind him. He was mimicking the guard's footsteps and movements, doing exactly what the guard did, like a shadow. The guard could sense someone nearby but couldn't find him. To escape from this prison, Jamie had been practicing his invisibility technique. After 4 attempts, he had finally mastered it. The method he used was simple. He would take off his shoes to avoid making any noise while walking. Then, he carefully observed the cell, looking for blind spots in the guard's line of sight. When the guard came around to check the cell, he was shocked to find the prisoner, who should have been inside, had vanished. The guard immediately opened the cell door and began searching. He had expected the prisoner to use some high-tech trick, but to his surprise, Jamie had only hidden in a corner. The guard helped Jamie back to his cell. Despite the guard's warning, Jamie wasn't worried. He simply continued searching for ways to improve his invisibility skills. This time, Jamie focused on the wall of the cell. After ensuring he had a firm foothold, he began to climb, eventually reaching the curtain above. When the guard came back to check again, he found that Jamie was once more playing hide-and-seek. Angrily, the guard opened the cell door, expecting Jamie to be hiding in the corner again. But when he looked around, there was no sign of him. The guard quickly figured it out and looked up toward the top of the cell door, where Jamie had hidden. Although Jamie was severely beaten, he managed to smile with a sense of pride. His invisibility technique was starting to show results. Determined to perfect it, Jamie stretched out his arms, moving his hands back and forth while adjusting his position, until he became completely invisible. Since the human field of vision only covers 180 degrees, Jamie used this to determine the limits of his own eyesight. He then learned to hide in the visual blind spots of others, which was the key to perfecting his invisibility technique. As long as he could quietly hide behind the guard and avoid their 180-degree vision, he could effectively become invisible. Of course, he also had to practice his footsteps, making sure he didn't make even the slightest sound while walking. After days of continuous practice, Jamie had finally mastered an advanced version of the invisibility technique. All that was left was to put it to the test. When the guard came around for another check, he found that Jamie had once again disappeared. But when the guard angrily stepped into the cell, all that was left on the floor was a single piece of clothing.